Hi everyone, it's Lisa. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm featuring a card that I made using the Scarecrow and Turkey stamp and die set that is from the Stamps of Life that will be featured on HSN in August 2020. And here I just stamped out the stamps so you could see what they look like. You have this cute scarecrow. It's like a pudgy scarecrow and a pudgy shaped turkey. And it includes two pumpkins and some sentiments. Happy fall, y'all. Give thanks, count your blessings, and happy harvest. And there's also the matching dies, but I don't show them here, but you'll see them later in the video. So here I went ahead and stamped these images on some Spectrum Noir Ultra Smooth cardstock because I am coloring them up with my Copic markers. And I'm starting with the Scarecrow, and I'm using some blues on his pants. And the blues that I'm using are B32 is my lightest color, B34 is my mid shade, and B37 is my dark. So I actually started with the dark, the B37, started in some areas where I thought there would be a shadow. And then I added my mid-tone, which was the B34, and then went on in with the B32 to color the rest of the pants up. And I shouldn't say always, most of the time I like to go back over a second time just to make those colors darker and richer so that they stand out. So when you are coloring with your Copic markers, you definitely want to put the darkest color where you think the shading goes, and then build your colors from there. So you're going to then add your medium tone and blend into your light. Here I'm using some orange colors to color his shirt, and the oranges that I'm using are YR04, YR07, and YR09. YR09 is the darkest, and then I come in with the medium and then the lightest, and you can see how I'm blending that out so that the lightest color is in the middle. So this is not going to be a full-on coloring tutorial. I am going to play this to music so that you can watch the coloring, because I know a lot of you do like to watch me color these images. So I'm going to go ahead and play this to music, and I will be back with when I put the card together. I'll be using an A2 size card base in the tangerine color. The artichoke layer is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, and that leaves pattern paper is 4 by 5 1/4, and that's from the Happiness paper pad. And I did save the leftover pattern paper from that piece that I cut because I will be using it on the inside of the card. Here I'm using my fence die, and I die cut a piece of ginger snap cardstock, and I'm just inking up the edges with the chocolate ink. And I also used the grass die from the Borders set, and I die cut that out of some artichoke paper. And here I'm inking up the artichoke paper with some artichoke ink. I'm using the die from the Leaves for Fall, and I die cut that out of chocolate cardstock, and I went ahead and added it here to my card. I made sure that I had double-sided adhesive on the back of that before die cutting so that it was easier to stick because those branches are so thin. And then I glued my fence down flat to that card layer, and the grass die is going to go over top of the fence. And then I'm going to turn that card layer over and just trim off that excess paper that extends beyond that card layer. Next, I'm just going to position the Scarecrow and the scene where I want it. I was debating if I wanted to use the turkey on the front or the Scarecrow. I did choose to use the turkey. So here I'm just adding one pumpkin there up to the left, the larger one. I do add some foam tape to the smaller one just to kind of stick that up in front of the larger one. And I do add some foam tape to the back of the Scarecrow because I don't want him just flat against the fence. I want him sticking up so that he has dimension. I do die cut some of these leaves from the Leaves for Fall set in various cardstock colors that match the fall theme. It's actually the same colors of that pattern paper. So I use the banana, the cranberry, the tangerine, and the artichoke for those leaves. And here I'm stamping out Give Thanks, and I used my chocolate ink, and I just cut that down with my scissors and then put it on a backing of the tangerine cardstock and just trim that down just so it has a nice backing on there. And I'm going to add that sentiment to my card layer. Just was deciding there where I wanted to put it. I decided to put it flush against that leaf pattern paper, and then add that panel to my artichoke cardstock, and that entire card panel will then be on top of my A2 size card base. So since I had that turkey left over that I colored, I didn't want him to go to waste, so I decided to decorate the inside of the card. And yes, I know you don't see me do that often on my cards. The inside of the card, I do have another piece of artichoke paper measured 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. That strip that you see that I'm attaching to that leaf pattern paper is just the opposite side of the leaf pattern paper, and I wanted just to add like a little border there. So that is cut down to 11/16 by 5 1/4, and the leaf pattern paper is cut down to 2 7/16 by 5 1/4, and I'm attaching that entire panel to the inside of the card. Now remember that that was the leftover leaf paper that was from the front of the card, so I just use it here on the inside, and added my turkey. I do add a sentiment, count your blessings, in the chocolate ink, and I back that up, just trim that down and then back that up on some tangerine cardstock, and I will add that to my card. Now what's neat about this is that the inside of this card, it actually looks like a card front, doesn't it? So I actually made this so that you have your sentiment on the top and then you can write your message on the bottom. But if you wanted to use that as a card front, you can also do that. And then here are just some leaf dies that I die cut out of some cardstock. And then I will add some twine around the top of this card, and that will complete this card. I just love how this turns out. It's like when you open it up, surprise, there's another card inside. So all the supplies to this will be on my blog, so head on down to the description box of this video where you will see a link to my blog where all of the supplies will be listed. So don't forget that the turkey and the Scarecrow, those are on HSN in the month of August. So if you're interested in those, you'll have to head on over to the HSN website. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.